not armed, they don't have anything, but they said there was no abuse, and in fact, one thing the Burmese army did, which was practical, it advised them after that, if you go outside your village, don't carry any weapons like a sword or even a rice cutting knife with you because we don't want you to be killed just for carrying that. Okay, so they said, no weapons if you walk around outside the village. In the village, they don't carry weapons, but you know what I mean, like no big long knives or swords. Okay. I also asked him, has any of your village or that you know of been raped? All three of them. These are three separate ones. They're not just back to back. Three separate Muslims. All three of them thought and said, no, I don't know anyone. I have not heard of anyone being raped. I have not heard of anyone being raped. And again, the same question, were the security forces in any way bad to you? No, they weren't. So, those are from three Muslims. Okay.
Question and answer?
Oh yeah, okay, so let's do some question and answer here. And
For every major newspaper and major radio station in Canada has chosen to state to all 34 million Canadians that Buddhists are going around all of Myanmar killing Muslims for no reason, and they've given the name of Muslims Rohingya.
I was in the interview where person to the question answered that we villages and ran away.
yeah,
That would be very useful.
right.
Correct.
So that we have in the prisoner interrogations. This village just said, yes, and we burned our houses, and some of them even described the detail of it. Gasoline gas here. We had 3 cans of gasoline, so and that's what this way we burned the village and ran. Tell other Bengalis to get out, or else they will be killed by Islamic law, they say. We will kill you by Islamic law, as we would a Buddhist or so. Okay.
Canada, especially about the attitude children.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the children. And I'm from media field, and also many people in this room are from the media. And I would like to make a question that now what I found about the Rakhine issue, most of the world mainstream media, including Canadian media and BBC and almost all of the media, as you have said, that all are broadcasting and distributing the fabricated news
Right.
and fake stories. I wonder. I found so few media outlets who are really interested in the truth. So recently, we've arranged an interview with the NR from the retired general in the party. So it's very scarce from the side. And now, you and your colleagues are now trying to explore and to distribute the truth.
Right.
But to be frank, I think you are too small compared to those David and Goliath.
Yeah, well, but David did win, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But, and I wonder in the real war, how can David win against this very huge
I
and
have an
powerful?
answer.
So, yes, from the social media, so everybody can be a journalist and everybody can distribute the news.
Right.
But I studied this case, this matter, for a long time, since 1990s,
Right.
as a government official. So I know very well about the tactics, the strategy. They also have so many numbers of websites and Facebook accounts and Twitters,
Oh, right.
and also widespread of the organizations. I think in hundreds.
Right.
And also they're using overwhelmingly in the social media too.
Right.
So that's why I asked you that.
Yeah. Right.
Did it, but
Right.
actually I wonder
Yeah.
how can you manage fight against such sort of the very powerful
Right.
sites.
Okay, so I have an answer, and I know Kevin has.
Papers about the Muslim media and some research into what in the Muslim world, in their languages, in Urdu and Bengali and Arabic and so on. The Muslim media for some years has been having a to totally denigrate and demonize Buddhism. Muslim articles and getting around and just making the Buddhists as the most evil people on earth. And in that Muslim world of media, they call for the absolute elimination of all Buddhists everywhere. They really do. I have quote after coming from here and there and so on with crazy stories. There are imams in various places just spouting out these facts like, that 50,000 Muslims are killed every day in Myanmar. We must eliminate the Buddhists there. That's what they do. That's the kind of talk they have. So that's one thing. The other thing is, here, I'll let Kevin say something about it.
Now, what's very interesting is when I was arrested for blasphemy, when I was in the courtroom, and the police were good to me. They said I would be out of the courthouse by 4 o'clock that day, and I was. But the Toronto Star, they sent their Muslim correspondent there, and some of the bigger TV stations, they sent their Muslim correspondents there. And they put my name national before 6 o'clock that night. So as I left the courtroom at 4 p.m., 2 hours later, my face and my story was countrywide. And friends of mine, 3 time zones away is a big country, land-wise. They're calling me up asking me why I'm on the Vancouver Sun's front page. I said, well, blasphemy. But the good part about this is a lot of people decided to look up who I am. They found my website and they began to read my articles. My fan base not tripled, it's sextupled. My website traffic did that overnight. And my fan base now is so big that when I do any, I do hit the better part of 500,000 people on a daily basis. That number is going to keep getting bigger because when I go home with this information, the Toronto Star, CBC, CTV, all the big guys, they're not going to like me calling them fake news and calling them out on that. So they're going to try their very best to make me look bad. And what's that going to do? It's going to put my name national again and national again. So you're asking me how do we defeat them? Let their own stupidity do it for them. There's so little real news that they cover that they can't wait to see what I'm doing to tell the whole country about it. That's how the country is going to find out everything about this. This mainstream media will, what will they call me? They'll call me a racist, an Islamophobe. They'll call me a bigot. And I'm going to spend the next month going through it. I can concur that everything Rick has said here is true. That there are no Rohingya people. The Burmese army.
Any more questions? Yes.
In Myanmar, no, you came over Burma, and I was amazing to see, your truth of what is happening in Burma. Hard people, we want freedom, and the freedom is being cheated by many countries. So what you have seen and what it is the reality of what is happening in Burma.
Right.
I was very glad and we walked hand in hand to have free Burma again.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Good.
To get more,
Involved in the city. I know a lot about it. It takes so much. For 25 years, I was working undercover deeply to help bring down the military before. I was working with U.S. I was working with Tom Lantos. I helped him to write the smart sanction bills, in which we targeted generals and their families and so on and their assets. I was very much against it. But I do also see what an army is doing here, what an army is expected to do. What is an army expected to do when there's a terrorist invasion? The army has to people and eliminate the threat to the people. And the army did that as best as it could.
so how do you think who are behind the plot? Yes.
Well, in Saudi Arabia, we know that, and okay, here is something very interesting which you may know or may not know. One day, Ataullah, the leader, we got his phone number, about a week or two before the attacks from a captured militant. We had his phone number written on a piece of paper, traced it, gave it to Indian intelligence, because Indian intelligence is the best one around here for dealing with that. They tapped his phone. He got 3 critical calls one day before the August attacks. 2 of them were from a Pakistan general asking him to move the attacks up, saying we need the attacks to happen tomorrow. And they're speaking Urdu language, so it's been translated. I have the audio files, everything. And Ataullah says, because we're not going to communicate from here on with phones or applications or anything, just by runners. Because they were setting up to start the attacks maybe in September or so. They would have had more attacks. But the general calls again and says, yes, we need the attacks as soon as possible, because the general said we want those attacks to come out just as the Kofi Annan report comes out. And so it was moved up forward like that. The 3rd phone call came from an ISIS leader in Syria to Ataullah. And that shows that kind of involvement there.
Why there is a very, very extreme assessment between you, your findings, and then the UN body, and then also international company, which is actually they are working also in that place. Is there any assessment on that?
Attacks on the attacking. Like we passed one building in North Arakan that Kobae said, oh, stop here a minute. And he pointed out this building which was being used by a German humanitarian organization that was doing work to help the Bengali hospital, clinic, something like that, was then itself attacked, which could mean that the attackers did not even know that this NGO was actually helping the Bengalis. Attacked it because they're not from. So, but no, the UN basically. Other NGOs that are Bengali friendly are there.
I'll add some. We found UN blankets, maxi pads for women, granola bars, and Korans. A lot of the stuff had the UN logo on it. We found 0 UN products in any of the Rakhine villages there. So we know that the UN, according to what we found and according to the people that live there, the UN supports only the Bengalis. That is a very big problem. Now, I had a piece of information. I really have to think through the best way to present it. It stated clearly to me that the United Nations is also responsible for many Bengalis leaving Bate Dong. They're leaving because they've been by the UN to go to Bangladesh, because you're going to get free food, a free place to live, free money, and here's the best part, you get to go to America for free, money for free, and Canada. They always say Justin Trudeau, and everyone says, oh, free money. That's the mindset that they all have out there, because the United Nations is telling them this. So the UN is doing 2 things. It's telling in Bangladesh that this land here is theirs.
Himself the Bin Laden of. When did he ever say that? Nobody has ever come up with a video clip or an audio clip that he ever did that, because he says he didn't do that, but this title is passed from story to story to story to story, so people actually believe it. And those kinds of things are incredible, let alone the media always uses the term Rohingya by now to have this huge definition, like you can call any Muslim practically in the country Rohingya. But first of all, there is no validity to the name Rohingya, but according to the media, you can just use that. The media doesn't even have any articles about that, and that is part of the problem.